called Bob D. Ayobami Dele Abayomi Ojutelegun Ajani Momodu on Thursday, May 16, 2019, clocked 59. The renowned journalist, publisher, and a former presidential aspirant, the founder and chief executive officer of the glossy Ovation International magazine, known for giving publicity to people from all over the world with huge circulation and presence in Africa. The subject of his editorials are usually the powerful, rich and famous, with special focus on nations, government activities, and public causes. On Thursday, when he rolled out the drums for his 59th birthday, it turned out an evening of praise, testimonials, and fun. Earlier in the day, his social media accounts opened with a touching message of thanks, especially to people who he said have covered him with ropes in his stride to achieve milestones in his career and life.
This morning, after crying so much, was that in your last show of me, as you leave here today, whenever we finish, I want you to remember that for me, in your last show of me, I mean, some people will plan parties for 1 year, they will not have this caliber of guests. I've seen so many of my friends who said, sorry, I get crashed. I just heard about this thing and I'm coming here. Look, I just want to thank all of you.
As expected, the people in his life turned up en masse to celebrate the iconic writer, poet, and journalist at the prestigious Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, overlooking the serene Lagos waterways. The gathering was tagged An Evening with John Mahama. As a medley of Christian songs of praises from talented Benga Adenuga welcomed guests into the alluring boil of the hall, the aroma of rich assortment of continental dishes filled the air. The two masters of ceremonies, ace comedians Tunde Adewale, popularly known as TA, and his colleague Benga Adeyinka I, were most professional as they took time to welcome guests and crack their ribs with jokes. While guests were being served sumptuous meals and choice drinks, the presence of the celebrants Basharun or Dele Momodu, accompanied by family members and friends, including the children of the late Chief MK Abiola, arrived the venue. In his ebullient mood, he moved from one table to the other, extending warm handshakes, embrace, beaming smiles of satisfaction and appreciation to guests who have come to honor him with their presence. The night took a dramatic turn with the arrival of the former president of Ghana, John Mahama, who was the special guest. President Mahama, sitting on the hot seat, was hosted by Dr. Reuben Abati, the ebullient former chief press secretary to former Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan. Abati, in his usual element, anchored the interactive session extempore and entertained questions from the audience. Mahama, in his response, spoke on major lessons from African politics, governance, the high points of his tenure, the media, the last election in Ghana, and the relationship between Nigeria and Ghana. Mahama, who also traced his origin to Offa in Kwara State, disclosed his plan to contest the next general election in Ghana.
Actually, Nigeria is my second home for two reasons. A part of my family comes from here. In those days, our fathers were polygamous. And so I am one of 19 children. We are 12 boys and the rest are female. And one of my sisters, called Sherry, her mother is Nigerian. She comes from Offa, Her mother comes from Ofa in Kwara State. And so I come from Ofa in Kwara State. In Nigeria, my state is Kwara, and my hometown is Ofa. I lived in Nigeria for a while, for almost 3 years. And I lived with my stepmother, that is Sherry's mother, in Ofa, and then with Sherry's brother in Kano for a while. And so I've lived in Nigeria before. At that time, my father was in political exile from Ghana. He had been in politics before me. I took after his footsteps. And there had been a change of government and he was being persecuted. So he came into exile. And they can promise heaven. And in this day and age, sometimes those promises sound like music in people's ears. But when you are handling the economy, and you know what the economy can do and what it can't do, you don't have the same leverage to make reckless promises. And so my opponent said he will build a factory in every district of Ghana. He will build a dam in every village of Ghana. Every year he will give every constituency $1 million. Every constituency in Ghana, $1 million. I mean, I could not afford to make those kinds of promises because obviously, I mean, there was a limit to what the economy could do. And so I was measured in what I said I could do to the people.
The high point of the conversation at the evening with Dele Momodu was the revelation by Mahama that after he lost the election in Ghana, he was deserted by many friends, but Basharun Dele Momodu stood by him, gave him confidence and propelled him to move on in life. Dele Momodu, Mahama said, had been a good friend and a brother through thick and thin.
When I started running for office, he was a firm believer because he had seen at first hand the work I had done in Ghana. And so he started to write articles and support me. And we became very good friends ever since. You know a true friend in adversity, not in good times. We became friends when I was president. I became closer to him. After I lost, many people just abandon ship. You become very lonely. I mean, no more visitors to your house. Before you have all kinds of people standing outside. But Dele was one of the friends who was there for me. After I lost on the election of 7th December, the handover was supposed to be on 7th January. And so there was about a month where we were in the transition period. And I'm a person who's used to working, and so suddenly, you know, you were just in transition and not as busy, and then you are now coming to terms with the fact that you have lost the election. And so Dele came and said, look, don't sit here and just, you know, mourn having lost the election. Let's go to Nigeria. And so he invited me over. I attended his ovation ceremony. He kept me here, took me to dinners, lunches, met with friends, you know, just to lift my spirit. And since then, he's been there for me.
In his vote of thanks, Basharun Dele Momodu went emotional. He recalled with joy the travails of life, the denials of love by girlfriends, and the challenges in business.
When I got to Lagos, I fought poverty with a passion. Yes, I promised myself I would not return to that Ilefe. Nothing will make me return there unless I go there to go and receive awards. And that is what has been happening. So, my friends who received me when I came to Lagos, I saw two of them tonight, Bessie and his wife. I was homeless. So I had to squat. In fact, a girlfriend left me because she said I was a squatter. She couldn't see the future. No, it's true. We have to encourage ourselves. And Bessie and his wife, people at Dubai, I don't know if they are still around. I mean, they fed me. They left a room for me in their home. And God started answering prayers.
The superlative fun-filled night was attended by dignitaries from politics, government, corporate organizations, media, music, and movies. The dignitaries in attendance include the wife of the celebrant, Mrs. Bolaji Momodu, Reverend Mother Abimbola Ajayi, and her husband, Reverend Muyiwa, Chairman of Biscom Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Publisher Global Excellence Lord Mayor Akinpelu, Chief Executive Officer, Vice Chairman Peachtree Communications Mr. Boyega Okegbenro, Fashion Designer Clement Enajemo of Moody Africa, Brand Strategist Charles Otudo, Fisolax Managing Director Chief Mrs. Toyin Kolade, Prince Jide Fadairo and his wife Ife Princess, Folashade Fadairo, accompanied by her sisters Adeshola Ogunwusi and Adebimpe Ogunwusi. Also present were talk show host and comedian Teju Babyface, veteran Nollywood star and former Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Delta State Richard Mofe Damijo, Globalcom Top Executive Bode Okpasheitan, the UBA Group Head, Media Relations and External Relations Ramon Nasir, Property Merchant Eunice Efole, Star Actress Halima Abubakar, former Chairman of Amuwo Dofin Local Government Comrade Dele Adewale, the Chief Executive Officer of Flip TV Mr. Biodun Kupolui, the Editor-in-Chief of Yes International Magazine Mr. Azu Arinze, Ovation Magazine's editor Mr. Michael F. Young, and other notable personalities in the society. In the midst of the celebrities were the Igbinedians, Abiolas, Olunloyos, and Orolugbagbe's brothers.
1, 2, 3.